Hello. Well, we're presenting a project on RFID smart attendance system using Arduino. My name is Taria. We have Marty and Daniel. So, attendance in most classrooms looks like a paper sheet passed around and signing people signing wherever there's no way to verify. And these issues are obvious, and it takes time out of class, and somebody can't sign for a friend who isn't there. So, what we're trying to build is pretty simple. The goal is to replace that paper sheet with something that works automatically. So a student can tap the RFID card and the system records them instantly. No duplicates allowed, and the data is stored digitally. For a system overview, um, so the system starts up and then we have the RFID initialized, and then we also have the Wi-Fi and LCD display. So when a card is scanned, it reads the unique ID on the card and checks if this person is registered. If not, it shows an error. And then if yes, it checks whether the marks present today to prevent duplicates. And if everything checks out, it logs the attendance.
So the secretary of the hardware, like we had to use the Arduino UNO board, an MFSC RFID, the 16 by 2 LCD display, a potentiometer just to increase or darken the brightness of the LCD display, and we had LED bulbs as well for indications for like a valid entry gives light of the green LED and an invalid or unregistered student light of the red LED as well. One of the issues we had initializing the RFID itself was we noticed that the signals coming through the MISO, the RST were greater than the allowed voltage on this module itself, and we addressed this by doing a voltage divider of 1,000 kilo ohm and 330 kilo ohm across the input itself to Arduino as well. This allowed the components to work together to easily read the RFID cards, process it, and display the attendance data on the LCD while indicating a valid or invalid entry. So the basically the logic of the software is the we kind of like have set up the RFID for each student registered in in the system, and then similarly one for the teacher or master card that kind of starts the attendance sessions and then allows students to log in. Like there's also like a range of time limit if student signs in late or is on time in signing up with their own card as well. And then at the end of the session, the teacher ends the attendance session, and then the result of all logged in student gets uploaded onto the serial console or basically to other form of data logging for the system itself. And this is the setup of the hardware itself, and we'll be presenting a demo afterwards.
Okay, so during the presentation or the demonstration, we are going to show how the system works in action. So as you can see from the bullet points, the first thing that a teacher does will be to start a session. So when the teacher gets to the class, he has more like a mastercard that he starts the session with. So if a session has not been started, no student can actually scan to start an attendance. So then followed by the students scanning their cards and their attendance are also recorded automatically. And if a student mistakenly scans twice, the duplicate scan is also detected. Then to end the session, the teacher also needs to tap his or her card to automatically end the session. So on the LCD part, which is the output, what we see is just their message more like to provide feedback, and it shows when the student taps and it displays on time, and students that are late, they get the late message to show that oh, you came to the class late. And peradventure the student made a duplicate scanning, they will have the message on the LCD showing denied. So lastly is the output of the whole summary table, which is stored on, which is displayed on the serial monitor. So we'll now be showing a demonstration of how the system works step by step. So before that, just to conclude and for future improvements, our basically for now, the RFID attendance system shows a demonstrator how embedded systems can solve real world problems, and it can also at least reduce the time complexity involved in passing attendance plan, and it also provides a reliable way of recording digital information. So for future improvements, we are kind of looking at a way where we can implement larger database support or maybe a mobile app dashboard that the teacher can actually view after the whole class. So moving forward, we'll go on to displaying of how the system works. Thank you. Okay, good day everyone. This will be a quick introduction to our system and how it works. So presently the system is up and it's ready to scan. So remember from our flow, we have a MasterCard that the teacher uses to scan the session. So if a student comes to scan without the teacher starting the session, we get that error message. So the flow is the teacher comes first. This is the one we program for the teacher. So when you scan, we can see the indication on the LCD, session starts. So when a student comes, this is one of the students that has been registered and scans. So it shows the time as well on time. So if the student peradventure comes again to try to scan, this is the error the student gets that already marked. And we also have another card for another student. So this student has as well, and it shows on time. So peradventure, if the student comes in late, we also get that error message that the student comes late. So the last thing that is needed after the whole students are starting and they've been recorded. So at the end of the class, the teacher also needs to end the session so that everything is displayed and saved on the serial board. So now the session is ended, and when we head over to the serial monitor, we can see the output of students that are signing for the class. So thank you so much for your time.